Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Saeed TV, and this is the Best of the Rest show. And we have an interesting show today for you lined up. We have got a couple of new faces on the building. People, you get me slotting in for the casting crew. Big up Premsy and also Lewis. Premsy's on holiday, enjoying that sunshine. Big up to Premsy as always. We got Guna Lee, the biggest Arsenal troll I know. You get me? I thought there was a bigger troll than me, but until I met this Guna Lee guy, man, madness. But Guna Lee, what are you telling me, man?
Listen, man, love for being on the show, man. Listen, you know what it is already, man. Big up to everyone on the panel as well. My guy Roms, big up Patrick, and yeah, listen, big up to the guy Goonie, man. I ain't spoken to him before. People still running with this whole Liverpool league crap. Listen, man, they need to get the grip, but yeah, we are. It is what it is, man. Love.
Come on. And obviously, we got a man like Roms in the building. What are you telling me, Roms? You good?
I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me. I think Goonie, first time meeting you, or I might have met you on.
I've met you once before. I just can't remember what platform.
I think it was Monty's channel, but
might have been, yeah.
Big up Goonie and Patrick, my brothers, on and off there anyway. But thanks for having me, Saeed. Davey on the show.
Come on, man. That's what it's all about, man. And obviously, Goonie as well. First time linking up as well. Big up to Goonie. What are you telling me, man? What's America saying?
Man. Hey, it feels first and foremost, it feels good to be here. I watch your platform. You get me? So I'm a fan of your content. So it feels great to be here with you guys. So thanks for having me on. New York is snowing right now, fam. It's actually a mad thing outside, and I've got to go and pick up the youths then from school soon. So that's
we're coming there soon, man. We're coming in June, man. So we're gonna link you, bro.
Matisse was telling me. We're definitely got to link up when you're out here.
Come on, man. Always. Patrick's got his full gear on, so it means Tottenham have won today. What are you saying, man?
Listen, we're slightly out here. Picking up a bit of form as well. Allegedly, I'm the most deluded Spurs fan out there. I'll wear it with chest if that's what it is. And I'm coming. I'm here. So once again, always a pleasure. Goonie, great to be on with you. Obviously, my guy Roms, it's always a pleasure. Lee, what can I say about you? The less I say about you, the better. And obviously, my guy Saeed, it's going to be good.
Come on, man. Come on. But listen, man, let's get straight into it, man. The best DM in the Premier League. Before I let you go on, Goonie, I'm gonna get the outside perspective because it's always good to get the outside perspective. But let's start with you, Goonie. Best Premier League DM. You got Rodri, Casemiro, and Partey. What do you think? Who do you think's the best DM in the Premier League?
Casemiro for me, and because you see the thing is with Casemiro is you can't take away what this man has done in the game as well. Palhinha is a very honourable shout as well. I very much agree with that comment there. But for me, it's got to be Casemiro, bruv, in terms of experience, the level that he's done it out consistently throughout his career. I know winning trophies is not a one-man thing, but to be part of a team that's winning 5 Champions League, 3 or 4 La Ligas in what I consider one of the most important positions on the pitch in any league, you can't write that off. But when I say that, because a lot of people get confused, just because when you rate a player, it doesn't mean that the other ones are shit, people. Am I allowed to say that? Sorry, bruv.
No. Go for it, bro.
It doesn't mean the other ones are bad players. I just think Casemiro is on another level. And then you can see how he's just come in and changed that Manchester United team in terms of giving it balance and just allowing everybody else around him to play.
Facts, bro. You know as well. Yeah, listen, I think Partey, you got to give him his credit this year, and he's doing well. But I don't think I would ever swap Thomas Partey for Casemiro, and that's for me the kind of key to this whole argument. Would you swap your player for Thomas Partey? And this is where I kind of go with Gunnar Lee. Like, he can't look me in the eye and tell me. You would swap Thomas Partey for Casemiro, or are you going to come on here and be shameless?
Listen,
what do you say?
You know that this is called the best of the rest. So we're top of the league. So we're top of the league. So it is the best of the rest. So when I talk about someone like Thomas Partey, listen, I think he's missed 2 games in the Premier League so far. He doesn't duck against the big games, and there's allegations against a certain man on this panel. There's a certain man that been ducking certain games. He's now got 4 games that he's going to miss now. I think in the last 10 games for Man United, he's missed. Well, I don't even know how many games he's missed. He doesn't really play.
A lot of games. He's going to miss potentially 8 games.
8 games. He doesn't really play. So listen, I think Thomas Partey scored 3 goals, and the most important thing what Goonie said was, I think what he's done at Real Madrid, but you can't include that because we're talking about right now. You think about, I don't know, Ronaldo, what he did at Real Madrid, but you wouldn't talk about him being the best striker in the Premier League right now, would you? So what I'm trying to say is, where I go with that, Goonie, is I just look at Thomas Partey and I think he's not levels above. And what we're talking about minuscule, it's almost about the whole Gerrard and Lampard. It's minuscule. So we're talking about the top echelon. For me,
but I don't think he is. I think Casemiro's clear. I can come. See, the thing is, my energy is different to yours, Goodally. You're saying middle school. Hold on a minute. You're saying middle school. I'm saying he's clear, brother.
No.
So why are you saying middle school? Back your guy. Say he's clear.
No. I am backing my guy. I'm telling you, he's the best. No, but my thing is, I'm still got to give respect to a Premier League, a world class centre mid because he can play the 6th role. He's not just a destroyer. He can spray the ball. He can do things which other players will find difficult. He finds it difficult. The other players find it difficult to do. But for me, I just think if you take Thomas Partey, similar to, and that's why I think it's so small, because Goody said the same thing. You're going to say the same thing, Saeed. If you take Casemiro out of Man United ain't going to be there. But if you take Thomas Partey out of Arsenal aren't in the position, and you see it because we played with Jorginho and we struggled. So it's very difficult to use that as an example. So we're now looking at games played, the instrumental kind of factor that they've had. And look, I know Thomas Partey hasn't scored in the final yet, but he's a La Liga winner. No matter what you guys want to say, he's won the La Liga with a team who aren't the best team in Spain. So you have to give him maybe more props because he's beat not only Barcelona, but he beat Real Madrid to that title when he was instrumental. Look what he did in the Champions League final against Liverpool, who won at that time one of the best teams ever assembled. I'm not saying they were, but they were one of the best teams the way they were playing football. So look, I just really want to kind of give my guy some shine because Thomas Partey, you see what he's doing, man. You saw how he was rolling around on that pitch against Fulham the other day. Rolls Royce, just doing what he had to do. 29 years old, and for me, listen, there's honourable shouts to Rodri, but I just think right now it's clear, it's obvious, as clear as
so we
day.
got it in the end.
It's clear as day. It's as clear as day. It's as clear as day. When I look at my guy Thomas Partey, they don't call him the octopus for no reason. Wins the ball back, and as I said, my man don't duck the big games, man. But there's a certain Casemiro. I don't know, man. He didn't want to come to the Emirates, bro. He didn't want to come to M5.
He didn't want to come to the Emirates high, mate. Listen, man.
This
idea that he was fucking Partey, mate.
He didn't want to do it.
Mate, listen, he'd have it any moment, mate. Obviously, he's a bit. That's a sign of a winner, man. Where he wants to win every tackle, man. That's just the kind of.
He was in London a few days before that, though. He went to Southwest London. He went to the kind of mean streets of Crystal Palace, but he didn't want to come to the Emirates, man. So listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, bro.
We've dunked at that stadium before, man, but it is what it is. Big up Aya. He says if any Arsenal fan said he's swapped Partey for Casemiro, clearly doesn't understand how Arsenal play. And that's from Aya. Kawaka says, I'm a Ghanaian and we don't like Partey in the team.
He's Nigerian. He's lying. That's a lie. He's Nigerian.
Kwaku is a Ghanaian name.
Well, I'm trying to say that's his thingy.
Come on, man. That's craziness, bro. The man's the captain. What are you talking about?
Rob, let's bring you into it, Roms, and then we'll bring Patrick as well into it. But, Lee says that it's to take out Partey out of the team. They're not the same kind of functioning team. But listen, Casemiro in that midfield, sometimes I feel like, and I'm not trying to give him justification, but he goes in for tackles because he kind of feels like he needs to lead by example. And you look at the players he's playing around sometimes, it's not the best. Also have a functioning team 3 years to their process. But what's your opinion in terms of who are you taking in your team?
By the way, I'll start off by saying I'll swap my DM for any of yours.
Yeah. Yo, man, Rush. He's gone out here.
You know what? I feel like there's different factors where each of them beat the other one. Because if you're talking accolades, Casemiro is clear. But if you're talking, they're all three technically sound. If you're talking who can spray the ball the best, for me, it's Rodri. But then if you're talking about what is their primary job and who's the best at it, for me, it then is Casemiro. But when you take all them things into account and you have to add all aspects together, for me, it has to be Casemiro. But on raw ability, I'll be honest, I prefer Thomas Partey. If I'm thinking raw ability, for me, out of the three, he's the most athletic out of the three as well. I feel like they can all do a job. When there's a double pivot, I feel like they can all hold it down by themselves. But if you ask me who I've seen do it the best, the complete best, for me, it has to be Thomas Partey. So right now, for me, I'm taking Thomas Partey over the other two.
What are you saying, Patrick?
Yeah, I disagree with everything that a lot of you lot are saying, to be fair. I think Rodri is the guy. In terms of the guy who can recycle the ball, more composed on the ball, great passing ability. I think he's the reason why they didn't win that Champions League when Pep did his wobbly thing and dropped him out for the final. And I just think when this guy's fit, and he's only 26 right now, going to be 27 soon. I don't know. You said Partey is the most athletic ones. I think Rodri is, to be fair. Rodri, doesn't really get injured. And I just think he's the calming influence in that City team. There's a lot of good players in that Manchester City team, world-class players. But this guy kind of like is the glue and makes everything tick, allows Kevin De Bruyne to roam, allows the other guys to get forward, is happy to drop back. Yeah, he might not pop up with the same amount of goals as maybe a Partey this season or a Casemiro, but you've seen the quality when he does strike the ball. And I just think he's kind of like the silent one that everyone's not talking about because Man City have been so good and constantly they're really good. This year, City have kind of dropped off a bit, but they're still kind of there or thereabouts. But yeah, man, I think he's not. And this, like Goonie was saying, this doesn't mean I don't rate the other guys. I'm not going to lie, I've got onto Thomas Partey a lot, but this season he's shown his levels and Casemiro has come in and effortlessly just slotted in and shown how world-class he is. So it's really tight. But right now, if I had to pick one, I would go with Rodri. But that doesn't mean the other two aren't at a world-class level.
Can I
interject quickly? You made a very good point because out of the three, overall, if you had to go past a couple of seasons, Rodri probably scores the most out of the three. And we know from whatever position you play on the field, if you can add goals, it's a bonus in general. So I think you make I think you make a very good point there, because I think Rodri probably I know they all three score, but when I've gone off the last couple of seasons, Rodri chips in more on a more frequent basis than the other two.
But you know what? For me, I look at it and I'm saying to myself, Thomas Partey really and truly, for me, hasn't had a poor game this season. He really hasn't. In the Premier League, he hasn't. Every single game that we have lost, or not, obviously not won, he hasn't been part of, obviously, other than the Man City game. So the Man City game, sorry, he missed that as well, sorry. So yeah, you could probably put that at him as, he ducked a big game, but it clearly was that he was injured. So for me, look, we're top of the league. And for me, if we're going off accolades and all of that stuff, then it has to be Thomas Partey, because he is the anchor of that team that is in the position top of the league, and we're 5 points clear. So if we're going off accolades and what they've done, right now, what we are doing is we are top of the league. We've scored umpteen amounts of goals, and he sets everything off. Not only does he win the ball back, that he's the first person. You look at his progressive passes. You look at how he sets off the Arsenal rhythm. You look at how he can just barge a man off the ball. And Casemiro, yes, he's done some really good things, but he's not had.
Wasn't great against United, though. That's a bit of a lie, isn't it? It wasn't great against United when he got sent.
I think first half the team wasn't great though. So I think that's what we have to put down. The team wasn't great, and I give you that. Look, but second half, you know what happened? I saw you behind your chair. So and that was part of Partey. Partey made you do that. Partey made you do that. Partey made you do that. So listen, I know that's why you got a bit of hate. No, that's why you got a bit of hate in your heart, because obviously man just made you start.
You know what it is though. I actually rate Partey, but I think ultimately, when we talk about the ultimate DM, like I'm even choosing Rodri ahead of Partey, and that's being real. I look at
if we're talking about right now, because that's what the thing is. We're talking about right now. It's Thomas Partey, and that's it.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. No, not even right now. He would be again. This is no disrespect to Thomas Partey. It's not. I really, really don't think it is. But when I look at Rodri's attributes, I think for me they're far more greater than probably.
100%. I'm glad you lot are swinging my way now. I'm glad you lot are swinging my way.
And respectfully, Lee, as well, I think maybe with the exception of Man City, Arsenal really is the most balanced team out of everyone, because when you're bringing in like a Liverpool into this, they still got a lot that they got to invest in. Chelsea, we're not even in this conversation, rightfully so. Saeed, you still got one or two things you need to do before you still see a complete squad. Do you know what I mean? And I think you can't overlook those things. Now, that's not taken away from what Thomas Partey's done, because look, he's coming into a team that hasn't seen the Premier League or been this close for I don't know how many years, 19 years. Do you know what I mean? So obviously,
Thomas Partey struggled as well first year, didn't he? From the transition first year. Let's be real. Did he not struggle?
And you know what? Let me just add on to that. From when he signed till that December, he was poor, and I think he came out in January and he said he acknowledged that he hadn't adapted well and he wasn't playing well. As soon as he did that interview, literally we were playing good. The issue that we had when he was playing good, the issue that he had is he couldn't stay fit. I don't know if you remember, we played Spurs away and he got injured and he kind of came off the pitch and Arteta pushed him back on. That was then. So that was all of that period where he was poor that season. That's the first half of the season. The second half of the season he turned up, but remember again he got injured. Hence why it was him, Thomas Partey. Actually, it was him, and Kieran Tierney who got injured, and then obviously Tomiyasu got injured. Hence why we didn't get top four. So I'll push back a little bit on that part.
You know,
big up Aya. Go for it.
You know what you just said as well. I know it's cliche, but availability is the best ability, and you have to look at these things when you're comparing these three. The other two are more reliable than Partey. So I know we're comparing the three, but if you wanted a DM that you know is going to be fit consistently through the season, you would side with the other two over Thomas Partey. That's one thing I would say.
And I think with the thing with Rodri, I think and Goonie made a good point, but I think it's always difficult to really understand how good a player is at Man City, because their team is so it's such a well-oiled machine. And it's almost like the whole Saka and Foden debate. If you took Saka and put him in a Man City's team, like what is he doing? He's getting
when-
numbers.
just-
But if you take Foden out, so go on, Patrick.
Yeah, no, just to sorry to interject, Lee. When you look at Rodri playing for Spain aren't as well balanced, and you see Rodri even popping up as centre back. That shows how good he is. He can actually adapt and even play in those different positions. So it shows how good he is at reading the game. And do you know what I mean? And like I said, like because Aya made a comment with a bit of tongue in cheek. I rate all three. All three are definitely world class. I would take all three without a shadow of a doubt, but I just think Rodri pips it over the last couple of years in the Premier League as well, which is key.
100.
And
I think
sorry,
it's underappreciated, maybe.
You know what I would say though? I would say probably back to you. I could say,
Yeah.
you know what? That means that he's not a master of his position because he's.
come on.
No. If I was doing the shameless thing, I'm not. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to do the shameless.
Yeah.
If I wanted to, I could say, well, the fact that he's been slid out of another position and Busquets. Listen, I'm not going to. Busquets is another level. In the game. So I can understand why he's been moved around. But what I am saying is, if he was so, this all-conquering player, he's going to be the man that's going to be anchoring that position. So for me, that's why I'm saying, look, the Partey thing, I just think you take us out, you take him at that team, you see the absolute drop-off. And there aren't many players in the league that does. I think, do you know what? I would say Casemiro over the years, not in the Man United team, but over the years, he's not had to do the passing thing and the tackling thing. He's only been more of that kind of destroyer. Only now he's starting to do it. Whereas I think Thomas Partey, you don't get a player that has to do both roles. You don't get the one he's passing forward and he's creating from a deep line playmaking. He's not doing the box-to-box thing as well as the destroying thing. As I said to you, I think that's why I will put him above the likes of Casemiro and Rodri. I think Rodri. But I think when I look at Thomas Partey, I just think that he has to do a lot for this Arsenal team to function. Whereas Man City, they've got so many moving parts that works for them. Casemiro, look, he's come in, but brother, he's missed I don't even know how many games he's missed. My man's
it will be 10 now. It will be 10 once this
there
4
you go.
game
So
thing in the Premier League. So that is quite a lot of games.
And as I said, in the big games, man, he scored against Tottenham at home. In the big games, he's turning up, man. So yeah.
Now, I'm just going to read a couple of super chats. Big up to Aya. He says, Patrick is lying. He says, I knew that as soon as I saw the constipated with rage. Look before he spoke. He know it's Partey. He's an Arsenal player. Listen, Aya's on you, man. Aya's on you. Ibby says, right now, only one DM is top of the league. Obviously, he's an Arsenal fan. Zamias is in the building, man. Listen, we're going to get outrageous takes from this guy here, man. Dennis the Great. Arsenal will see you next season in the Champions League and smoke you. Trossard, Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard better than your attack. Big up to Rational Cat Pat. What a name that is, man. He says, this is just for you Spurs fan who at least acknowledge Rodri. Out of the 3 is only the Premier League holder. Man is being coached by one of the best who literally played that position. Rodri also benched Mr. Partey at the moment.
Atletico Madrid, you saying?
Atletico Madrid, yeah. Sorry. Atletico Madrid, yeah. You know what? That's a mad option.
What a point. Well done to that super chat.
Yeah. Fair play. Zamias says here, Jorginho was nominated for Ballon d'Or. What Casemiro was nominated for? Just lots of red cards. Well, listen, mate. You're not a 5-time Champions League winner. You know what I mean? For no reason, mate. So listen, Zamias, man, hold that. Big up Ross. He says, big up the channel. If you look at which player has the biggest impact, Casemiro is carrying a very thin squad. Partey is good, though.
This is nonsense, though. You lot spent £200 million. You've got Fred. You've got. This is where I'm annoyed with Man United fans because they talk about Eric what's his name? Eric Sevenhag. They talk about him. They talk about Eric Sevenhag and they talk about him saying he's the new all-conquering, manager. He can do no wrong. He don't make no mistakes. So when it comes down to, he's elevated Fred. He's elevated McTominay. He's elevating all these players. He's still
working with his teams. He's still working with his teams. He's 9 months into his project and he's 3rd in the league. Where was your manager after
he won a trophy as well. Same thing you did.
But also, in terms of your progression, where were you?
Yeah, but okay, hold on. But if I was to extrapolate what he did over half a season, what your manager's done over
our manager won the Carabao Cup in how long?
Yeah, so I'm just saying in half a season, we finished 8th. But I'm saying if you had a whole season, I believe he would have done a lot better. So let's not do that, right? But anyway, I'm going back to my point. My point, what I'm trying to say is, no, I'm giving you that.
You don't have to go back. Go on.
Listen, we both won the trophy, so let's not do that. So for me, look, I just look at it and I say to myself, this whole he's carrying this thin squad. It's crazy. you've brought in reinforcements. You've also brought in the guy from Bayern Munich. So I just look at him. He's not carrying this team. And you've talked about your midfield. Your players have raised their levels, and it's down to the manager. So you ain't got no dead
time. It also takes time.
You're not carrying dead players.
Team chemistry. Come on, let's not do that, man. You have to. Your guy's been in there 3 years, and you're only getting to this level.
I'm giving you the ratings, but I'm also saying I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm being realistic to say, look, yes, Eric Seven Hag has done a great job. I'm also
another manager.
Listen, I'm also trying to say that, look, he's not. Let's not say that the cupboard's empty at Man United, because it's not. That's what people make out.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Rational Cutback says here, Gunnar Lee knows Partey really well. Can he tell us about Rodri and his attributes, since he can confidently say Partey is better right now? What are the things he is better than Rodri at? Let's have some facts here.
Good question.
That's a good question.
But when it comes down to it, right? When it comes down to it, we're all gonna need to look at the main attributes for a CDM or box to box or number 6. Let's just say that. We're going to look at passing. We're going to look at the contributing to forward progressive passing. We're going to look at tackling. We're going to probably look at, nipping the ball away. These are the finite things we're going to look at. And Rodri, yeah, he may be better at some point. So it's going to be nip and tuck. So it then comes down to, what do your eyes tell you? That's a famous line from Cams, which I like. Your eyes don't lie. And for me, I just say, look, Partey is top of the league. He is the DM in top of the league position right now. That's what we're talking about.
You can't base the argument off that, because it is one position we're talking about. Again, you're trying to stress your position in the league.
No. I'm talking about.
That's what you've done.
What I'm doing is I'm talking about the three players that and the impact on their team. Partey clearly is having a huge impact on the team. It's not like Partey is like some passenger. He's an instrumental. He's an instrumental factor in.
But it isn't a clear and concise argument to say that he is clear of Rodri. It's a factor. Don't get me wrong, but it's not an argument to say as a whole.
Yeah, because you said the eye test. The eye test. Rodri is definitely pleasing on the eye. Rodri can pretty much do everything that all the others can do.
More than Partey, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Personally,
but anything Partey has is he's more athletic than him in terms of he can get up and down the pitch faster. But in terms of everything else, there's not really much else.
Yeah.
His body's going to crash soon, though. I think longevity-wise as well. No, I'm just saying, though.
Yeah.
I think his body's going to crash soon. I don't want that to happen to any player, but I just say.
I was going to say that sounds a bit salty.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Trust me, I know what that feels like. You don't want that.
What's going to happen to Casemiro then? What's going to happen to Casemiro?
I think Casemiro will be oozing at 35. I think.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Bundesliga, the Bundesliga 2 and that Partey will be chilling there at 35.
Don't worry, man. There might be.
Partey and Casemiro are similar ages, aren't they?
Partey's younger.
Yeah. Partey's just turned 30.
Rodri's 26. Rodri's still quite young.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's getting bossed around on the pitch. Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen. Big up David said, Saeed, have a 7-up to chill. Yeah, absolutely. Big up Rational, man. He's on to you today, man. Good news. All your players are at the best position because you're on top of the league. Lol. Tommy Yasu, But listen, we're gonna have to move on from this debate because we've spent half an hour on it. There's nearly 600 of you in the chat. Please like the video, people. It don't cost you a penny to like the video. Make sure you're following all the Mandem Goonish channel. Man Knows Football, Patrick, if you don't do content, follow up Gunnar Lee, follow up Rums of Big Six Bands as well. Them man do content over there, so make sure you're tuning in for that one. Let's talk about the top 4 battle. Goonie, chat. I know you don't want it. You don't want the question. Yeah, I get it. But this super team has to click at some point. This super team has to have some ambition. You can't just say top 4's over. You can't, because anything's possible. Are Chelsea starting to feel themselves back in this?
Listen, I'm going to do my accounting thing and start looking at numbers here. Yeah, because you see me, the trauma's mad. I haven't looked at the table for how long? I don't know, 2023, unless I'm forced to look at it. All right, so right now, with 10th, 37 points. Spurs are 11 points. Nah. But it's not. Listen, yeah, the odds don't look very good with us, and with this manager in charge, brother. Yeah, the situation is peak. Saeed, you got to look at certain things. I gave patience for so long, but there was one game where I said patience is out of the window because there's no excuse for not getting a result here. That was a managerless Southampton, bottom of the table, at home at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, they came there and got their second clean sheet of the season, by the way. Where am I going to have faith in this manager to get it right elsewhere? If this is what you're doing against bottom of the table, Southampton. Yes, we've gone on a free win run, but that's not enough for me. The only way I get any kind of trust is if he does what I consider to be nearly the impossible. You get top 4 and you get us to a Champions League final, I change my mind on you. Outside of that, not for me, bro. I got no faith. No faith at no top 4. We'd be even lucky to get Europa, to tell you the truth.
Wow. You know, Mandem, yeah. Let me start with you, Roms. Like, should they have that kind of attitude, or do you reckon it's just a reality? Like, is it a situation where they cannot make it 4? But again, you know, they might win the Champions League, so they might not want to focus on the top 4.
The thing is, I agree with you in a sense that this super team has to click at some point. But for me, Potter will do considerably well from now to the end of the season. But by Chelsea standards, I just feel like he can't deal with all them big personalities. I feel like in modern day football, we know player power is huge, but I just feel Chelsea will pick up results. They were never going to carry on losing every game. I know rival fans, we like to lap it up and that, but they're never going to continue to be that bad. But I just feel there are other managers that could deal with these personalities even more. I know they have a lot of deadwood that they need to get rid of. But for me, because I'm looking at this top 4 race, obviously, I'm going to say a bit on my club, but when I was even thinking, if Chelsea get a result against us, are they in it? Then I see City second to last game away. Then I see Newcastle at home last day. I see they have United away. I said, nah, this is a long shot for Chelsea. They will climb the table. I'm sure of that. They'll climb the table. But to get 4th, nah. And they've got a similar problem with us where their key players are injury prone as well. So you never really know who's going to be there on a week-to-week basis. But I think it's a long shot for them to get top 4, to be fair. Now, long term, I don't think Potter's the man. I know he should be patient, but I think a manager can deal with that squad of players better than Potter.
This comment is a mad thing. I'm sorry. It's actually kind of really still.
Yeah. I don't listen. I like you, Zayn, but I don't know about that one, my guy. I don't know.
There's a lot, man. Samuel Eto'o, you're missing. Didier Drogba. Zayn Yassin, man. Listen, I don't know, man.
I know.
Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Listen, there's too many, man. Too many, man.
Oh, did you say Mo Salah?
Yeah, he's Egyptian.
Listen, I know he's not having the greatest, but listen, he's still there. Respect
he's
him.
Egyptian.
Respect him.
Oh, you don't think Salah?
He said he's Egyptian.
I'm saying he's Egyptian because he's acting like he's not African.
Please.
Brother, come on, man.
I don't know about that one, man.
Party can't lace out your Torres boots, fam.
Oh, yeah,
exactly. That's another one as well, man.
Yeah,
Party will never be Yaya Torres level. You know what I mean? Let's be real.
What
it is
player,
what it is.
Torre.
But everyone has their moment.
Yeah, facts.
SCN. Oh, Greenlee, what are you saying?
Don't do this. Don't do this.
I'm not being that shameless. I'm just saying, just don't put don't put no Mo Salah in no conversation about the best African player ever. Please.
What?
Don't want to hear that nonsense.
Let's be serious.
Yeah, come on. He's in the conversation. He's in the
bro. I'm sure he's still trying to land in Dubai, bro. I don't want to hear
Greenlee, even if your eyes don't appreciate it, numbers don't lie. In any walk of life, numbers
don't lie, man.
Listen, bro. Listen, you can be the best finisher in the world, all you like, but listen, bro. When
you're looking at nostalgia, man. You're a nostalgia merchant, man. You get me. You got to give it credit.
For me, Eto'o, I don't think there's anybody that can come above him currently. But
same.
I don't want to hear no nonsense about Mo Salah. Please stop.
Yeah, fair play. Belletti says here, Thomas Partey took years to settle in the EPL. If you put Thomas Partey in the current United team, the team does not improve. Casemiro improves every team.
What I will say, just to rebuttal that, just one point. One of your greats, I saw a little clip yesterday. Rio Ferdinand, he said he wanted him. So I don't know.
I wanted him. I'm not going to dispute that.
I did as well. I ain't going to lie. I did as well.
Everyone would have him. Everyone would have him. Yeah, it's mad. Like I think everyone would have him. So, but yeah, this top four race is a bit of a mess. So Chelsea are out of it. Do Liverpool want it? Rom said, "Do you want top four? Like, what are you man on? Like, you're winning 7-0 trophy, and then you know what I mean? Like, what's going on?"
I would say I'm quite a level-headed Liverpool fan. I'm saying from now we're just gonna miss out on that, and I'll tell you the reason why. What I'm about to say will shock you, though. I don't think we lose to City, Arsenal, or Chelsea. Honestly, I don't believe we lose any of them 3 games. I'm not saying we'll win, but I think we get a draw minimum all them games because we rise for the big teams. They're not our problem. It's the bottom half teams. Because what will happen is, I think if I had to estimate, I think we'll get 5 out of them 9 points on our next 3 games. I know everyone thinks it's doom and gloom and whatnot, but we always do rise against the big teams. But our problem is the Leeds game at Ellen Road. After that, we'll then lose.
Yeah.
So. And we all know consistency in a top 4 race and a title race is different. Title race, you need consistent wins. Top 4, you just kind of need to stay unbeaten. You can kind of lose here and there. But whereas I think Tottenham and United are already 5-6 points ahead of us, I think I'm going to chuck you lot into side. I think all of us will be inconsistent. But we're already ahead. And I know we're going to drop points against the bottom half team, which kills to say. I think we're just going to miss out. I think we'll get 5th, but I think it'll be us and Tottenham down to the wire. I think Newcastle, they overachieved. I think the expectations too high for them. I think your Fulhams and Brightons and Brentford, they've had quality seasons by their standards. I think even if you ask their fans, they would take maybe 6th, 7th, 8th place, maybe catching conference. But I think they even know they will peter off. I think when it comes to the last day, it will be Liverpool Spurs for that 4th spot. And I hate to say, I think Spurs just nick it. Just.
Big up Zamia says, Redknapp says, Odegaard better than De Bruyne now. Comments. Ooh.
This season, possibly, yeah. But
can we not do this?
Yeah. Overall, there's no debate. But this year, you have to, give Odegaard his flowers. This year, he has been fantastic.
Been a bad boy,
I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, even as a Spurs fan, I can see it. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, what? That's crazy." But overall, no. But yeah, at the end of the day, every young player's got to start somewhere. And right now, he is looking like the guy who was meant to be that guy at Real Madrid. He's starting to look like that player. I don't know why Lee's just there. I hate this guy,
I've rated Odegaard since day one, man. I don't know why there was a fuss about
him. He's good. He's good.
Quality player, man. Quality player. Ibi says, is it weird to say that I can see Chelsea reaching the Champions League final when they have these awful seasons? They always do well in Europe somehow.
It's not weird. It's not weird. It's not weird.
But this year, it's not strong though, the Champions League, man. I don't think the teams... Only Napoli. I've watched Napoli. They look serious. Bayern Munich, they've got that mentality about them.
Can I stop you there, brother? Because Cass says the same thing. Are you just saying this because United aren't in it?
Yeah, they are, man.
I've noticed the thing with United. All of a sudden,
I'm not gonna lie, Europa League ain't the place. Champions League ain't the place to be. I can't lie to you. I don't think.
Why not?
What? I'm like, no, Champions League nights, man. Like you see the Europa League.
I will say,
the
games last week.
You know what's mad? Once we're in Europa League next year and we're trying to say, yeah, Europa quality is better, you're not just going to be like, shut up. Everything is going to join up.
No, listen, look, I do think that the Champions League this year is a little bit, it doesn't feel the same, but I do think there are some quality teams. I do think Bayern Munich, if they click and if they do what they need to do, I think they're still a quality team. And I think Real Madrid, when Real Madrid when they're clicking, in the Champions League, they look good. So I won't say that Europa League is a place to be, but I will say that, the Champions League last week's games were horrible. That Tottenham game,
Conte needs to get slapped. How can we be like only one goal down at home and you don't throw the kitchen sink at it? Like, that is just, it's a calamity. And then,
do you think their away goals has messed everything up? Do you think their away goals, taking their away goals out, has messed everything up?
I think, away goals would have been nice because then teams really have to go for it away from home. And then also you have to lock up shop a bit. It adds to that. It adds to the factor and the euphoria of it. Because now, like us, one goal down and we just didn't really go for it. And then AC Milan didn't really go for it either. They just sat back and was like, if you score, maybe we'll try and score again. So it was a boring game because of that. Italian teams, typically are quite handbrake-ish and quite apprehensive, and Conte being Italian and just not really going for it, it just made for a poor spectacle. I'm not going to lie.
They got rid of the away goals so it will become more entertaining, because the whole idea was the away goals, the away team was just looking up and they weren't attacking and they were taking home. So now it's actually meant to make it more entertaining, but you know, obviously the history of Tottenham, you know, you do what you do, so
fuck off.
Hey, listen, you know what? Yeah, and big up Zayn Miassi again. Says if Arsenal win the Champions League, we could have won it. We still have to wait next year, no problem. Listen, Zayn Miassi, if you don't win it now and you're here next year, man, you best have the same energy, man, because you're moving wild, man. Even
differently, he's moving crazy, man.
That's
mad. He's moving mad, man.
To say like let's not be disingenuous. Chelsea have got Champions League history. They're still in it. Porto look really good as well. No one's talking about them. They're still in it. Obviously, Benfica. That's what I was meant to say, not Porto. Benfica look really good.
Yeah, Porto do look good as well, though.
Porto are decent. Obviously, you've got Napoli. You've got Real Madrid, who always turn it on, and Bayern Munich. So these are teams that are there every year and have got the. Sorry, go on, Mums.
Do you know what it is as well, Patrick? Yeah, I think I'm not saying anyone's sleeping on Napoli, but people really need to start taking them in, because I checked the league table. They are 18 points clear. I think they only need 6. I think they only need 6 wins. So they need half their wins out of their next 12 games. If they win their next 6 in a row and win the Scudetto early, their sole focus could be on Champions League.
Fam.
Obviously, it depends on their next draws. If they get someone like a City or a Bayern in the quarters, it'll be tough. But let's say we all know once you get to the semi-finals, anything can happen. I'm not hearing it from. It doesn't matter who's better than who. Anything can happen from the semi-finals. But if Napoli was to get to the semi-finals and had already won the Scudetto, I'm telling you, they've got a big.
When you've got one of the best wingers in the world in Kvaratskhelia, for me, he's one of the best wingers in the world. When you've got that guy and Victor Osimhen, who's an unbelievable beast, they've got every chance, man. They've got the midfield in the box. Proper team, man. I've been watching them all year, and you know what? Man? They're powerful. They're strong. They got Kim Min Jae in there.
Yeah, good defender.
I got a question for the panel. You know, they're that stars of this season, the Kim Min Jae, the Osimhens, the Kvaratskhelia, I think Lobotka in the middle. I know football money talks, and they want to get that big move, but I want to know you lot's opinion on this. Do you feel if they will win the league, and let's say they do well in the Champions League, do you feel all their players might just agree, let's stay one more year, or do you just think that's off the card? Once a big offer comes in, their head will be.
It's the wages, isn't it? It's the wages, man. And I think, like Osimhen, he knows he wants to go to the Premier League. I think he said the other day that he's
already come out and said it. Yeah, he's already come out and said it.
The issue with him is he knows that he can get some real money. Look, if he goes to United. I think there was some links to him with Chelsea as well. So I think Chelsea, you know, they'll pay ridiculous amounts.
They'll pay anything.
So those two teams, I think for those two teams, it's a real power shift for something like that. And look, you're in London, you're in the Premier League, or if you're in Manchester in the Premier League, that's different to being in Napoli, man. You know, you don't. I've lived abroad, and you don't see as much of the foreign football all the time on football on TV. Premier League is the be all and end all. So I think players know that.
You know where you're spotting as well. Like football is kind of a now or never. Because what if you can make the move and you get a long term injury? God forbid. Then that moves now. Might not then get it. So no, that's a good point.
But the owner is difficult, man. He will not let them go.
Yeah,
he won't let them go.
But the thing is, Man United, when it comes down to it, and Chelsea, we've seen it already. They will pay whatever needs to be paid. You two clubs will pay whatever needs to be paid to get a player. So I don't think that's a big problem. I don't think like Man United are sitting there thinking, like we got to work with the owner of Napoli. Chelsea definitely they ain't, because they just shelled out £100 million on Enzo, and they shelled out 95 or 90 million pounds on Mudryk. So I don't think they're going to have any issues with, you know, like paying the money or the release clause or whatever it is for these guys. £100 million for these players now, for these teams is literally like nothing to me. So
yeah. Big up Matt Ross. He says, expect Spurs to fall away and Liverpool to chase fourth. Also, Zayn sounds like he's been waiting for many years. Let's go to Patrick, because this guy's been talking the most on the group chat. He still believes,
I've been consistent. My chat.
You've been consistent. He believes that Tottenham will finish above United.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Can I just interject just for 1 second? Hold on. Because last week, Patrick, what did you say that he was going to do in the Champions League, my guy?
Yeah. I said
So everything you say, is it?
Yeah,
do you believe everything you say? Should we believe everything you say?
I get more right than I get wrong, and people that know me and watch me, they will.
Did you get it right
that.
last week, Monday?
So,
Did you get it
I
right
got
last
that wrong.
Monday?
I hold my hands up. I got that
You want to let
wrong.
the people know what you said as
So,
well? Do you want to let the people know?
What did I say about what? Sorry.
What did you say about the Champions League?
What did I say? I don't know. It depends what you're talking about.
Listen, I don't know, man. Listen, I don't want to read out comments in that. You know, this is a private conversation.
By all means, you can. But what
listen,
I said,
man, I just remember certain man saying that they were gonna. You were mapping out your route to the final. That's all I remember.
Nah, not the final. But I thought we would go past AC Milan. I predicted that we would lose 1-0 away from home because obviously we had no midfield in that game. We played Skip and Sarr, and they did quite well. We lost 1-0, but I thought we would beat them at home. Obviously, I got that wrong. But regarding Spurs in the Premier League, I think that, and I've been saying it for a while, because when I looked at United, even though they were picking up points, I wasn't that convinced with some of their results, like in terms of the performances throughout the whole game. And obviously, you saw that against Leeds, they were quite fortunate. They was under the cosh for a lot of that game. You won 2-0, but it was quite sketchy. What is it? The Palace one where you won 2-1, drew with Leeds 2-2, lost to Arsenal 3-2. So I was looking at it. And obviously Tottenham, we've been very sketchy up and down in terms of the cup form and the Champions League form. But our league form has actually been quietly quite good. We've won 5 out of our last 7. And when you look at our league form, only City and Arsenal, who have won 5, drawn 1, lost 1, have better league form over the past 7 games. And that's why we're slowly, obviously, creeping into the top 4, in the top 4 now. So I do think United are catching.
Hold on a minute. There's a key question I want to bring you. Are you convinced by your form, or are you convinced by Tottenham?
I'm convinced by A, the form, and B, the form of the teams around us. Because I'm not saying that we're in amazing form in terms of, but I think everyone's quite sketchy. Everyone can drop a clanger, like you guys drawing to Southampton, bottom of the league. Southampton.
It's about them doing that and then taking advantage. But you haven't managed to do that. And
we have been taking advantage, Saeed, and that's why we are now 4th, and we're actually like 4 points clear of Newcastle, who were comfortably 4th, but they keep dropping points. So Newcastle, I know they won. They were quite fortunate against Wolves as well, because let's be real, Nick Pope should have got sent off, should have walked in that game. I don't know how we got away with that. Newcastle, for me, don't score enough goals. Liverpool's form is up and down, and United, their form has been up and down, and you lot are in a lot of competition.
It's not been up and down. It's been the last 2 games. Before that, it's been in how long?
It's been up and in terms of the performances.
You're taking 2 games out of Man United, and then you're basing that whole argument. Oh, I think.
But it's not the 2. It's the whole performances. Because even when you've won some of those games, you haven't looked that convincing. Leicester, the first 20 minutes, they absolutely pummeled you, and they should have been 2-0 up. But they didn't, and obviously you took your chances. I can't discredit you for winning those games, of course, but when I watched the whole performances, as much as Man United fans were saying, yeah, we're this, we're that, I was like, the performances don't really tell the same story. And obviously over the last couple of games, you have become a cropper. You get smashed 7-0, you expect to bounce back, and you then drop a clanger and lose to a team at the bottom of the league. That for me shows that your form is just as indifferent. What made you
convinced about your form? I know you've been playing well, but there's been games where you've not looked convincing. There's been games where you kind of, been absolutely done away from home. So what makes you convinced you can build that form? And let me know anyone that's in the chat. And by the way, Zemia says, never mind Osimhen, Balogun is tear up the French league. I hope we don't sell him. Does anyone believe what Patrick is saying? Goonie, let's start with you. Do you believe Tottenham will finish above Man United?
Based on Tottenham being Tottenham, no. I just think between the 2 teams, United have got better depth. They've also, and I know it's nothing to do with domestically, but they've also won a trophy, which is very good for a young team, and I strongly believe that transcends into all competitions. I think United get it. I just think they do. I've been very impressed with what Ten Hag's done. Like 7-0 aside and all them things there. Because if we're having serious conversations, I would rather take a 7-0 against Liverpool than be 10th. You see what I'm saying? It's all relative at the end of the season. It might not even matter at the end of the season. But the way I see it, I see United just bouncing back. Hopefully, these 4 games, though, without Casemiro, you can get through that. If you ever through these next 4 games and get good results, I could give you favourites for getting that 4th spot.
Third, not 4th.
Another thing I would say, I personally don't think Spurs will finish above United, but a factor where they could is Saeed, and I think you may agree to this as well. The further you get in Europa League, and the more you prioritize that, maybe you could take that out of the ball top four.
They've got one game a week.
Exactly. And you might think, you know what? We qualify for Champions League. First seed, I think you're seeded in the first group as well if you're in Europa League. Obviously, you might have to avoid Arsenal as well, but I think they've got other priorities. But if you don't start to prioritize that and think, you know what, worst case scenario, we drop out of top four, but then we win Europa League, it's a win-win anyway. So that's the only way I can maybe see Spurs pipping it. But I'm just looking at your fixtures, Patrick, and you know we've got our next three are hard. It kind of reverses onto you lot because then you have Newcastle away, United at home. Then you've got to come to Anfield. So end of April within a week is very tough as well. It's going to be interesting.
That's the advantage of having one game a week. But you know what? The reason why I said, and to be fair, I said we could catch United. I never said we would. I said we could. And the reason why I've said it is because I said back then, United are in a lot of competitions. And like you said, the further they get in Europa, they're going to have to prioritize and play a strong squad. And to be fair, Ten Hag does play a strong squad in every competition. He takes it seriously, which is a credit to him. But
you said on here, you said in the group chat, I told you, man, Spurs can and will catch you.
There you go. Can and will.
And I quote, will. Are you coming on here?
Listen,
answer your case. Will you finish by United?
I don't want to add on to this as well because I don't want to put Patrick in any more mud.
I'm going to make another bet. 20 pounds, another £20. So I've already said Weghorst will score more goals than Richarlison in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So
you're lucky because Richarlison keeps getting horrible VAR calls. That goal should have stood.
Oh, okay. VAR's holding. Okay. So you don't believe in your guy. Believe in your guy.
We've already done the bet. We're going
to put another £20 on. So we're going to make it 40 quid, yeah?
Yeah.
And this one is now United are finishing above Tottenham. So you put it on the line.
Oh, you 2 points with a game in hand. I don't know if I'm going to take that.
So what's your energy then? Are you doing it or you not?
I don't know.
You don't back it, man. Anyway,
and then you don't back it. You don't believe it. So everything you just said here, you just waffled for about 10 minutes. Could have just had another topic here.
I've not waffled.
Listen,
and
man,
also as
me,
well, the reason. Sorry, Lee. Let me just quickly say the reason why I've also said that we could. Well, actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let me take that bet. I'm taking that bet. I'm going to say the reason why I said that we could and would finish above United is that we score a lot of goals. And United, for me, I'm not sure, like people are saying, if Rashi dries up on the goals where they're coming from, Tottenham, Kane, Son, Kulusevski and whoever, we do chip in for quite a lot of goals. Scored the third most amount of goals in the league as it stands right now. So yeah, let me take that bet, man. I'm going all in. Let's go.
You know what? I feel dirty talking about the top four. I don't even know what that is no more. I leave that to you, man. But what I will say is, I really can't see. I can't see Man United dropping off that far. I think I don't trust them in the big games. And you think about it, right? Every big moment that Spurs have had to do something big this season, they've crumbled. The most recent, Sheffield United, they've crumbled. Arsenal away, they've crumbled. Arsenal at home, which could have dented our title hopes, they've crumbled. You think about Liverpool, they've crumbled. Every single moment, and again in the Champions League, they've crumbled. So for me, I just don't think that Tottenham have the minerals to do what they need to do. And even if they was to win some of the big games, they're prone. They are known to drop a clanger and drop a performance like a Leicester. And I just don't see Man United doing that. I don't see Man United having enough poor games.
What's your top four, by the way? Give me your top four. And then we'll go round.
Man City, Arsenal. I'm gonna say Man United, and I'll say Spurs. I think Liverpool. You know they're shit, man. They're shit. You know they overrate their play.
Wow.
Harvey Elliott, they overrate. They Mo Salah. We see what he did against Nottingham Forest. So unfortunately, I think if there were a few more games, I would have said Chelsea could. They could if they had beaten Southampton. If they had beaten Southampton,
it's a lot of points to make.
I would have said,
their last few games, City and Newcastle. Last two, that's crazy.
Yeah, they ain't got enough games. That's the problem. So I'm going to say those four, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And listen, to be fair, no one wants Liverpool in the Champions League, man. So yeah, let's leave them out.
I said that as well. You know, Liverpool going to the Champions League would be the worst thing that would happen to the Premier League because I feel like they then have a new lease of life to go again. It's true, man.
But Liverpool will probably win. But Liverpool are built. They could win the Europa next year. Like, let's not sleep on them. Like,
but I think it's difficult to manage.
It might be built, but when you've got that guy sort of managing your club, you ain't got no chance, my guy. I said it at the start of the season. I said it.
One thing I will say, even though we've got a lot of constraints under FSG, we will spend this summer, so it won't be as bad next year as it is this year.
You spend buying people like Gakpo, so you're always doomed, isn't it? You're always doomed.
No, I mean where we need to address though, midfield. We have to. Four players' contracts run out and they're going, so we have to replace. We're not that naive to be we're going to go another season with no midfielders. It just won't happen.
It is what it is, man. I just don't believe it. I do not believe in this Liverpool project. I don't believe in the manager. So yeah,
yeah. Give me top 4, Roms.
Kills me to say it, man, because once upon a time I wanted Arsenal to win the league, but these are just unbearable. So, but yeah, I think Arsenal nick it, man. I think everyone keeps saying City go on this run. This run has not kick-started yet, and now we're down to these last.
Yeah, unbeaten though in the past couple games, 4 or 5 games. But not convincingly though. Not convincing.
There's little things in a title race that I remember when Company scored one from 40 yards against us, and you kind of know in the back of your mind. The comeback against Bournemouth, there's certain moments in title race where you just think might be there. Yeah. So anyway, I think Arsenal nick it, City second, United third, Spurs. I think Spurs just edge us by a point and 4th.
Yeah. What are you saying, Goonie? Obviously, you can't be shameless, but yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, I can't even try and be shameless here, fam. It's a big 11-point gap. But City for me, Arsenal, United, Tottenham, Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Patrick, what are you saying? Obviously, we know
you're so City, Arsenal, Tottenham now. Got to go with that, and then United. So City, did I say that right? City, Arsenal, Tottenham, United. So the top 4 will still be the top 4 as it is now, but obviously it'll shuffle a bit. So yeah.
I'm going with Arsenal to win the league. City come second, United third, and then obviously Tottenham 4th. Liverpool, I just don't know if they're gonna make this. This can't be the teams around them. They can't. I just don't know what it is. The ones that are below them just can't beat. Ibi says here, random, but remember those 6 months of Papi Cisse killing it. Cisse first, goal for Chelsea. Who's the best streets we'll never forget players in the Prem history? I'm gonna go for Ben Arthur.
I'm going for Tarapt as well.
JJ Okocha.
I'm going to go for Payet.
Payet, yeah. JJ Okocha was a baller.
Have you not noticed? It's normally like the North African contingent.
Yeah, man. I know.
It's them type of
What are you trying to say? What they're easily forgettable, like Salah?
No, I'm saying they're the ones that
I've got to throw Matt Letizia in there as honourable mention.
Yeah. Let us know yours as well in the chat. Papi Cisse, Balassi as well, man. He was cold.
For a couple years,
that season, Payet, man. The free kicks. Listen, man, he was
what about Moussa Dembele? Was he kind of too well known? Could I put him in there?
He was underrated.
Midfielders.
Yeah, Dembele was sick.
He comes under my underrated list. Him, Michael Carrick, them kind of players who just didn't get enough credit, man. You know what I mean? For me, like, and like I said, these kind of players here, man, they're just quality, man. So yeah, man. Goodly, just to kind of like, obviously we're wrapping up the show soon, but Arsenal, how are you feeling right in a minute? To top of the league, still going. That win was convincing, When I was in the ground, I was looking at the score, innit? 1, 2, 3. I was like, man, man, let me rest, man. I just seen the 1, 3, man. I'm like,
it could have been 5 by half time. Honestly, it could have been.
I will say, look, we're playing some good football. There are so many things, and you know what I'm liking, and I can talk about the players all I like, but what's more important is the manager is getting better. We a lot of times, a lot of people, have slandered Arteta. They've mocked him because he's the Lego head, he's the pet cone man, he's all of these other things. But when you actually see what he's doing now, the tactical changes that he's doing, the substitutes at the right time, he's not messing around with the team too much. He's brought back Gabriel Jesus at the right time. He's brought in Trossard and he's seamlessly fitting in. I can talk about the players all alike, but the manager is doing some really good things. And I think the most important thing is he's actually motivating this young team. That's what we have to always remember. We are a very young team and he's doing bits with this young team. So I think for me, the manager's going to take a lot of credit. yesterday we cleaned up on the London Awards. Best manager, Odegaard got an award, Saka got an award, and Ramsdale got an award as well. So we cleaned up there as well. So I think I can talk about the players all I like, but yeah, listen, man, it's just a magical season for us. We're doing really, really good, and I think a lot of people are going to be shocked about those away performances. We've got Liverpool, we've got Newcastle, we've got Chelsea at home, and we've got Brighton at home. And there's one more game. Oh, yeah, Man City away as well. So I think a lot of people will be shocked by those performances. I don't think that we're going to lose all those games where people think we will. I do think we're going to win the league. I just think that you look at Man City as well. Not only do Arsenal give me credit, but Man City don't give me. Arsenal give me, hope, but Man City don't give me the hope. And I think it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Like, I think that's where I'm at with it right now. So, listen, it's going to be tight. It's going to be squeaky bum time, as your great manager used to say all the time. And big up to the team, man, because they're doing some bits. And listen, for the league, I think it will be good for Arsenal to win it. We played the best football throughout the season. Man City, I think most people don't want Man City to win it. I think
they'll patch it that.
And I'm sure Goonie doesn't want us to win it as well, man. But listen, but you know what? I think it's the fans that people don't like. But if you actually look at the team, we've got a very likable team. We don't have players in the team that we don't have a Bruno Fernandes. We don't have a Harry Kane.
Why is he getting strays, Bruno Fernandes? What's he done to
No. What I'm saying is that a lot of people don't like Bruno Fernandes because, look, whatever you want to talk about, he does moan a lot. Like, he does like to do certain things on the pitch that might be seen as cheating. You don't have the England captain who, okay, whatever you want to say about him as a person, people don't like the England team or what. There are so many, certain players, but we don't have any of those players in our team. So I think for me, or Richarlison, look, someone even said it. We don't have a Richarlison in our team. So I think if you take the fans aspect out of it, listen, man. If we win the Prem, you think Northwest was popping when Algeria was winning games? You think Argentina's celebrations, brother? Listen, bro.
You know what it is. You know you were getting called Liverpool in. There was a point this season, Patrick will vouch, I was getting called Gunnar wrong because I was like, you know what, I was appreciating what I was seeing. But I can't lie, in the back of my mind, I thought they're gonna fall off, City will catch up. But now, when the reality hits you, like, no, they might do it. And I'm deep in everyone, my mum, my brother, everyone around me is awesome. Like, I can't have this. I'm gonna have to take a flight. I can't be in London.
It's a lot.
I'm calm, man. I'm calm with you.
We're around Manchester. You're cool.
Yeah, I know, but listen, I've been watching Man City parades for the past couple of years, mate. Listen, Premsy, big up Premsy. Listen, I can let him enjoy that because I've been through him in primary school, innit? And I know he's been hurting for a while. He hasn't had a good upbringing, you know what I mean? Also, I've been shit for too long. What?
Let's calm down. Let's calm down.
I'm happy for my brother, innit? But other than that, like, Man City cannot win this Premier League. They can win 3 in a row. Nah, man. Arsenal, hold tight the Arsenal fan base, man. Fair play.
You know what?
Win that league for us. Win that league for us, brother.
I'm going to run the oldest jokes, but was there any fans in the streets of the parade? Like, they don't really have fans.
Well, Big Steve and a couple of his mates, you know what I mean? But
I heard there was a lot of CGI, man. I heard there was a lot of CGI back in the day with them fans.
You know what, to be fair, Man City fans, I know a lot of people are bantering that, but there is a lot of Man City fans, you know what I mean, that come from the area. Like, Main Road was busy back in the day because I grew up around it, so there are a lot of Man City fans. But I get it though, innit? When the money came in, bro, there was a couple of people like, yo, I was an Arsenal fan, but I was a Man City fan now, so it is what it is. Patrick, are you still thinking Man City have got that fight, that spirit?
I'm hoping. It's more hope than thinking now, to be fair. Arsenal have been in scintillating form. I hate this guy, So Arsenal have been in scintillating form, and like certain times when you see the comeback against Aston Villa and they win 4-2, and it was looking at it was going to drop points, and then no matter what happens, they're seeming to come through it. I'm just like, oh man. Fulham, I was hoping that would be a test, and Arsenal just basically just pissed around, and it was 3-0 comfortably. Could have been 6 or 7, but they just took their foot off the gas. Arsenal playing good football, but they still got some tough games. Let's not act like they don't have some tough games, but I don't know, man. They just passing every test now with ease, and it is looking a bit scary. But I still have faith in City. They've been there, done that. All the we can go on and on about why. And I'm just hoping that City pull through.
If we was to play Spurs every week, we would have won the league ages ago.
Oh, here we go. This guy, that he's winds
Home
up so
or away?
much, man.
Home or
Winds
away?
up so much.
Even Chelsea, man.
But
Let's
you
pay
know
them
what's
every week.
you know what's funny? People, it's quite weird. It's quite funny as well because maybe City haven't been as scintillating as Arsenal. People keep saying that City haven't gone on this run. City's form is the same as Arsenal's over the last 7 games. It's just that they're still playing catch up. And every time they win, Arsenal win, or every time. So City are still quietly there or thereabouts. So don't write them off. But fair play to Arsenal. Fair play to Arsenal because they are doing what needs to be done, man. And look at their next games: Palace at home, Leeds at home, Liverpool away, West Ham away, Southampton at home. These are all games that, in the form that they're in and the way they're playing, they should win.
You can never say 3 points, 3 points.
Yeah, I know, but the thing exactly, I was just about to say that the Premier League is a humbler, and sooner or later something will happen. So hopefully, God willing, it's sooner rather than later. Please, just
one thing I'll say, we have a say in this tower is I think we take points off both of them, off both cities.
I hope so, even though that will be detrimental to us versus you. Please, just take points off Arsenal.
We'll probably draw against the both of them.
Right.
I mean, you could do us a favor, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, man, please.
Yeah, Chelsea as well. Like I said, Chelsea have a say in this as well. Goody, what are you thinking, bro? Well, obviously, it's a mad one, but it is what it is. What are you thinking?
I said this a while ago. I actually think that Arsenal ain't going to get 3 points against us at the Emirates. We're not going to win. We're not going to beat them, but I think we're going to hold them and we're going to have a say in this title race, fam. But we've also got to go to the Etihad as well. So we might be pivotal in this thing, you know.
Pivotal FC, man. Is that what you become?
Yeah, we might have to do. I see Patrick saying, please don't bring it up. Don't bring up that Hazard goal. But yes, I hope it's that situation once again. Yeah, but this time for the other guys in North London, hopefully we can say we've done it to both clubs when we've been shit. So I hope so.
I hope so. For that, just you redeemed yourself at the end, Gooney. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, you gotta get some balance in there. You get me?
That's it.
Facts. But listen, people, we're gonna wrap it up there, man. There's still over 700 of you in the chat, man. So big up to the people that are watching. Make sure you like that video, man. Bottom of your right hand corner. I am gonna look at the poll because I did a poll, for who was the best DM in the league, and I'm gonna see who actually won the poll.
Let's go.
I have a feeling who's won it, but it is what it is.
It's a Man United show.
They're everywhere, man. So
it's gonna be Cass.
The actual poll has ended, and it is Thomas Partey has won.
You're lying.
Yeah, 1,000 people voted. Thomas Partey 45%, Casemiro just behind in 40%, and Rodri is 13%.
I want to thank all my fans. I want to thank my family. I want to thank my friends. I want to thank you.
How many burners do you have, bro?
Listen. You know what? This is a football channel. The football has spoken. I rest my case.
Man. I won. Yeah. Absolutely. What impartial opinion, man. But good and Lee, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Let them know where they can find you. Everyone's channels are in the description, so make sure you check them out, people.
In the description. But if you want to follow me on my Instagram, it's Guna.Lee. On my YouTube, Guna_Lee. And again, listen, you'll find me on AFTV weekly. So yeah, man, doing big things now, man.
Absolutely, man. Big up to you always. Rams, man, solid debut on the channel. Hopefully get you on more often, man. But let them know what you do. Let them know what you do, man.
Yeah, this is my handles for all socials, and you'll also catch me on Big Six Bands months. I'm always on the regular on the channel, and you'll catch me on the Jerry James show as well, up and coming Liverpool channel. So yeah, they're the two main channels you catch me. Come on, man. Goonie, another solid debut for you, man. Hopefully, I can come link you on your channel, and obviously likewise as well on here, man. But big up to you for coming on, man.
Yeah, man. Any time, bruv. I enjoyed being on here. Hopefully, I can jump on again. You're more than welcome to jump on my channel. Man Knows Football is where you can find me. Actually, it's funny because before we done this, I done a Man United stream, which I rarely ever do. We had Rodri Giggs and my other guy T-Dot on there. So if United fans want to check that out, make sure you go and check that out.
Good guy, T-Dot.
Yeah, man. Big up, man. Big up. And obviously, always Patrick. We'll see, man. When he does any football content is a day when I'll probably finish YouTube. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, now you know what? I'm on so many shows, so I am busy, but I will do my own stuff. What I will say is I've just followed Goonie, so everyone do the same. Man knows football, just done that, and yeah, man, I'm gonna be on Football Terrace. Obviously, I'm always with Best of the Rest. Clemsy, when he's back, will be on that. Premier League Unpacked. What is it? Coys.com when they're doing their stuff. And also Ricky Sachs, what is it? Spurs
Last
channel.
Spurs,
Last Word on Spurs. I'm always on there as well now. So yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, man. Big up everybody, man. Like I said, make sure you follow everyone. Make sure you like the video. I'm gonna be back later on for the watch along. Man City, RB Leipzig, Inter Porto. Hopefully, Man City, man, heritage moment. Let's see if they can go through, man. If they don't, man, it's gonna be a madness. But they should go through. They should go through, man. It's 1-1, but let's see what happens. But people, I'll see you later. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Peace.